Last month, PoCo Heritage held an opening for their new World War I exhibit entitled Westminster Junction to the Western Front. Tri-Cities Community TV recently spoke with PoCo Heritage volunteer Steve Smith, who volunteered much of his time to put this exhibit together.
I'd like to invite everyone to come out. If you haven't been down to Heritage at Lee Square, run by PoCo Heritage, we have a new, very interesting exhibit on now called Westminster Junction to the Western Front. You know, everyone probably knows that 2014 is the 100th anniversary of the start of World War I. And you know, a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of different museums around the world that do a great job of telling the story of World War I. But we always look for stories that have a PoCo connection, or at least a connection to the surrounding area. And so, you know, that was part of what we were trying to get across here is sort of explore that somewhat dichotomy between what was happening here on the coast of British Columbia back in 1914, being this, you know, this endless opportunity for business and whatnot. And meanwhile, you know, other side of the world, other events are unfolding that seem so far away, but how, because a lot of men from Port Coquitlam went over to Europe and subsequent events that followed, how that had such a dramatic impact on PoCo's history for a long time. It took a long time to rebound from that. So we have a gun which doesn't work, a World War I era rifle, Enfield I believe, bayonets and things like that came from Carey Price, who's a war historian. And we had the display of the theater that was built by Richard Paré, I believe is his name. He's a set builder from Stage 43. We had a new painting made by Bill Hall, who's done some paintings for us before. Various items donated by, I think there was a couple items donated by the Legion, some stuff we already have. We had the radio from Spark Museum, and some items we already had in our archives. So we're going to run until just before probably mid-December, Christmas time, when we have our Christmas tree festival starting. And I'd like you all to come out. We're open all the hours that the outlet at Lee Square is open, so I look forward to seeing you. We're also looking at creating a new semi-permanent exhibit, which is going to be called the Carroll Hubbard Memorial Natural History Exhibit. It's going to take part of our floor space out in the front area, and what that's going to be is really looking at the natural history aspects of Port Coquitlam. We do a lot to talk about the history of our buildings and the history of our people and that sort of thing, but what we really want to do then is you know, in line with connecting Port Coquitlam to other things, we want to connect where we live in Port Coquitlam to the natural history, you know, what was here before we were here. So we're looking at things like the flora, the fauna, the rocks, the mountains, the glaciation, all those sort of things. And so that'll be coming probably somewhere between March and May of next year as a permanent exhibit. And then we want to also work with other environmental stewardship groups within the community to be a part of that as well. We're always looking for more volunteers, and we need all sorts of different skills, you know, different age groups, you know, different experiences. We got lots of different projects you can get involved with, whether it be fundraising, whether it be helping create exhibits like this, research, digital archiving is a huge ongoing project that we've always got going on. We've recently started a part of that project, which is digitizing all of our old newspapers, and we'll at some point we want to have that content available online. So, you know, we have a fairly good website now, and we're going to be expanding that. So there's lots of different areas that, and also representing PoCo Heritage at community events. So lots of different things that people can get involved with if they'd like to join us. And we're a pretty good group for the most part. We're pretty fun.